all sim all the time.
What is up, everyone, and thank you for checking out another SGN video where it's all sim all the time. And look, if you're new to the channel, be sure to click that subscribe button, like the video. I put out a lot of content that if you're watching this, you're going to appreciate anything else I put out, all right? So just make sure you smash that subscribe button if you haven't already. Anyways, let's get into the video. I got my hands on the Madden 21 beta, and I wanted to make a video going over my impressions of it. And so real quick before we get into that, I just want to let you know I played on default all pro, 10-minute quarters, accelerated clock off, and I use the Atlanta Falcons every single game because they're the worst rated team of the four we had to choose from, and I played all the teams, so I got a good idea of how everything is. And so I'm going to start off with what is good about the game in its current state. And so the pass rush moves are super fun. I love it. It adds an element of strategy, and when you pull it off, when you set up an offensive lineman with one move and go to another move, it feels really rewarding, and it's been very well done, and it is not overpowered. So credit to EA for introducing a new feature that is not OP right off the box as they've done in years past. Blocking has been really done well as a counter, especially with the offensive lineman building up resistance. This is keeping it to being very balanced, which again, credit to EA, very well done. CPU quarterback play has been very improved as well, as far as their presence in the pocket, moving around the pocket, avoiding defenders. It's very, very well done, and the new throwing animations that they've included as well, sight for sore eyes. The new tackling animations are very well done as well, and I'm seeing new tackles and new animations every single game. It has not gotten stale. It has not gotten repetitive yet. I'm still seeing a lot of new things, and that's obviously a welcome addition. The PA announcer. Last year's was really, really good. This year's is even better. I'm just a big fan of the PA announcer. It brings a lot of immersion. If you've ever been in an NFL game, you will totally understand what I'm talking about with the PA announcer. Awesome addition. They did add new wide receiver catch animations and DB interactions, and both have been very awesome, especially on deeper throws. Instead of always just jumping for the pass, and so, they'll actually let it drop into them now, which is huge. Seen a lot of new catches across the middle and on deep balls, and I've seen a lot of new DB interactions as well, trying to swat the ball away or breaking up a pass. It's very good so far. The pass out of the sack was obviously drastically needed after last year, where you could literally be having the ball almost thrown and they would hit you and you just turn into a sack. It looks really good, and it's been implemented very well, and it was needed, so good job on that. Player movement. I feel like it feels really, really well. Again, I'm strictly a franchise player, so I do not play against other people. So in that aspect, player movement feels really, really well, both for the user and CPU. I think it's very well balanced, and I do not think EA needs to mess with player movement. One little small thing is when you move players in motion on offense, I think it looks more realistic this year. I think the way they get up and move and settle in is more realistic to how players move in real life, and it's just a nice little touch. And then I'm one of those people, I actually like the new presentation elements that they added to the game, just because presentation has always been so stale in Madden. And yes, this is a little arcadey and a little over the top, but you know what? I will take it at this point, all right? Yes, they do get a little repetitive and redundant, and the cutscenes are very cool, and they're a little too frequent. But I enjoy the presentation elements, and I actually enjoy picking to do a celebration on a big tackle or big sack, because players do that in real life, and so I actually enjoy that. So that's what I'm liking currently with the game. Let's get into the not so good. And one of the big things, this is going to be my biggest thing, is that CPU quarterbacks still do not use ID the mic. They do not make line adjustments, and they do not fake snap. And these are issues that come carrying forward from last year and the year before. And these are things that the user can do, but we do not see the CPU do it at all. And it'd really be nice to see them get up to the line and ID the mic and maybe shift the line a direction or so, and fake snap to try to draw us off sides. It also uses more time off the clock as well to help balance out that time of possessions. Pass accuracy for both the CPU and user, at least on All Pro, needs a serious nerf. In every single one of my games, I have yet to throw an off-target throw. I'm not even joking. And I take lots of deep balls. I throw up to Julio. Not one single off-target throw. And CPU doesn't throw anything off-target either. And I will get into some reasons as to why later, as far as not so good. But pass accuracy needs a serious nerf. Getting into that, CPU quarterbacks, I haven't really seen them throw deep. Brady was a check down machine. Mahomes took a couple shots when they were, or not Mahomes, but Lamar Jackson took a couple deeper shots when he was behind in the game, and Mahomes was a check down machine too. Mahomes didn't throw any deep balls, not one, and that's what he does. And part of that will lead to higher completion percentages because they're just checking down. So the further you throw the ball down the field, the more likely you are going to have an incomplete pass. So that could be one reason why pass accuracy is high, at least for the CPU. Pass rush also needs a buff. So the pass rush moves work great. The unfortunate thing is you still don't get much pressure on a quarterback on a 4-man rush. And when you blitz, which is another issue, you do not get pressure either. And so the only sacks I ever got on the CPU is when they turned to take off and scramble and they ran into a defender. But as far as them dropping back and me actually getting pressure and bringing them down, it might have happened one time. And for me, I have yet to be sacked. And that's a real issue. And part of the reason is 4-man pass rush needs a buff, number one. Number two is when you blitz players, the linebackers hesitate. And I went into replay and watched this. They hesitate before they actually blitz. And when they blitz, when they initially take off, it's like they got that stuck in the mud motion where they don't full-on sprint. And so that delay is what I think affects you getting more pressure. And so, those two things need to be worked on for sure. Another one, again, this is all tied into pass accuracy, is I believe perfect pass accuracy abilities need to be changed to just an increase in accuracy. Mahomes has Deadeye, which is perfect pass accuracy. That needs to go because every throw he makes triggers one of his abilities that has perfect pass accuracy tied to it. And so the dude literally will never make an off-target throw, which you can literally pull up footage of him and watch him making off-target throws. Every quarterback does it. So tune those abilities to just a higher percentage chance of being on target versus guaranteed perfect accuracy, at least in simulation mode. Another one, this is carrying over from last year's play call suggestions need more variety. You literally get the same 50 play calls suggested to you on offense every single game, and you got playbooks with 500 plays in them, 300 plays in them. Like, we need way more variety on offense. The other thing is CPU players don't really seem to use the new ball carrier moves other than juking. I haven't seen them do spins, dead leg, nothing like that. So let's get CPU ball carriers to use more of the moves at their disposal. The rest of the stuff is just little things. I love Jack Harlow. I've been on the guy for years. Big fan of his work, but his music plays way too much during the game. It literally pops up every 2 minutes. You hear a song playing in the background, and it's just super annoying that it comes up that often. So tone down the Jack Harlow and all the other songs playing in the game, in the stadium. Okay? It's just too much. On top of that, sideline cuts, they're awesome, they're great, they just occur way too often. Let's tone that down a little bit so that when they pop up, they're a little bit more appreciated versus you start to build that repetitiveness because they pull up too often. This one really bugs me is snow games. The snow, you see it falling down, you see it on the field, but it does not accumulate. The snow is always perfectly shoveled on all the yard markers, and wherever you've been playing at, the snow goes away, but it never comes back. It needs to build back up to be more realistic. And then this one bugs me as well as commentary. It's the same as it's been the last 3 years, man. We're going on year 4 with the same commentary crew, and it's all the same. It is just very bland. It's in my opinion boring, and the PA guy is more exciting to listen to. And the last one I have is that when you call a defense and you either want to show blitz or you want to press, you make that adjustment. All your defenders just instantly in sync sprint forward 5-10 yards, however far they're going. And they just all do it in sync, and they just sprint forward, then they just stop. And it looks really natural, really unrealistic. And if they could just tweak that so players move forward more naturally and it's not an all in sync thing, I think that would look better. But anyway, I did have fun with the beta, and if they can make some of these changes, I think at least gameplay wise, the game will be an improvement over Madden 20. Of course, it's all going to come down to franchise mode as far as long-term playability. But anyway, those are my thoughts on the Madden 21 beta. And if you do have any questions for me, go ahead, leave it in the comment section, and I will answer any questions you have for me regarding the beta. Otherwise, stay tuned to the next video. Peace.